Hello.
Oh.
Did I steal your shine? So next week will be our 50th. I was going to say our 50th anniversary, Lord Jesus. Next week will be our 50th episode and our 1 year anniversary. And we want to do something a little special for you guys. So if you could send in some questions. I know we always ask you to send in questions, but you have we want to do an episode where we just answer questions the entire episode. So we want you guys to just send us a shit ton. I want remember Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and Uncle Vernon nailed the mail shut, but the owls were still sending hella Hogwarts letters. We need that. That's what I want. I want shit coming out of the fireplace. Okay, thank you.
I want y'all to send good questions. How does Renee cruise at 24? What brand of flea bottles does John get? How does what hair dye does Beige use? How is Rakim such a bad bitch? There's so many questions that are unanswered, and we want to answer them for y'all. So
who styles Beige?
Your hypothetical wasn't bad at all, but okay.
No, it wasn't actually. But anyway, y'all have questions and we want to answer them.
What's our favorite dipping sauce at Chick-fil-A that we don't go to because we're boycotting?
What does sound like?
You just did
Grinder or chirping?
Grinder or Cardi B? The world will never know. But send in your questions to podcastofcolor@gmail.com, and we're gonna answer them all next week. And we're very, very excited. And
we're gonna bust it wide open.
Bust it open.
Bust in our inbox.
We're gonna bust our hearts open to you as well.
Yeah, and thank y'all so much for staying with us for a whole year. I'm surprised we stayed with us for a whole year.
Right? I'm shook.
Can you
believe? And for the new people, the newcomers, can you believe?
50th episode?
I love it.
So thank y'all so much, and enjoy the episode this week.
Recuerda mí, hoy me tengo que ir, mi amor. Recuerda mí. No llores, por favor. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. You can roll your R's pretty good.
I do a little bit, Anyway, bienvenido to Podcast of Color. I was definitely about to intro with bienvenue. That French was pushing through. The French tried to jump out, but I had to push it back down.
What jumped out instead?
Espanol, bitch.
Is that what that was?
That's exactly what that was. I know you don't understand it because you're not 42% fluent like I am, according to Duolingo. Thank you. Anyway, welcome to Podcast of Color, where 4 trash bags of color come together to make some sense of the world. I am Baze, and like I said, I'm 42% fluent in Espanol, according to Duolingo.
Me llamo Rakim, and estoy ready to bop whoever bit Beyonce in the head.
Oh, I'm going to need to catch up on that.
Soy listo.
Listo. I'm John, and I think I saw that was a Coco reference, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That was a good movie. I saw that twice.
En mi corazón y cerca mi tendrás.
Me llamo René y ha regresado esta semana.
Okay, wow.
Wait, can you say that again, but just a little bit slower?
Rakim is bien sexy.
Oh. That's not
at all.
Oh, wait, I was about to say something about to be problematic.
Something about a brother.
Okay, we can
say bitch. Now. I'm kidding, babes. I'm kidding.
You could do.
I'm gonna go back and listen.
Phone operator and.
I should. You know what? Now that you know what? Thank you. Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Also, so the question of color this week would be, if you could delete one social media platform, which one would it be and why?
El Tumblar.
Why is it L and not La?
Hands down, Tumblr. Actually, like, it was great when I first got on it, but I think like now it's not even a habit anymore. I mostly just keep it, so I can reblog our stuff. I don't like, or sometimes I look at porn on there, but,
come on, porn.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not really, I don't know. It's just like, it lost its appeal for me.
And it's being taken over by the Russians.
Oh, the Russian bots. Yes.
On Tumblr?
We'll talk about that later, hopefully.
They're posting things like Maria Sharapova is better than Serena Williams or whatever.
John?
I've been on Tumblr since like 2008. Oh my god, 10 years now. So I probably won't. I only have Tumblr and Instagram, so I probably delete Instagram first.
Are you serious?
The Bisco Queen herself? Wow, shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, why?
Well,
I can see it, but why?
One, I don't know as many people IRL on Tumblr. So I think if I ever wanted to like get away, I can do that, you know? Like,
yeah.
I know, especially recently, I've been like kind of stressed out and I like want to get off Instagram, but I'm probably not a good idea for lots of reasons. But yeah, like I don't know, I wouldn't have to see, it's almost like Facebook, you know, like I don't want to see anyone I actually know. And then I might like not like them as much because of their opinions or whatever. Like I just want to go on Tumblr and like see news and see music and like other stuff. Like I don't know, it's surprising. I think it's a really good source for some news.
Tumblr or Facebook?
Tumblr. I'm not on Facebook, so I only have Tumblr and Instagram. And if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Tumblr over Instagram.
I would do Facebook or Tumblr or both, honestly, because once I got Twitter, they were both found dead in the ditch. Facebook is just like everyone's just getting engaged and married, and it's like I just don't care to have Facebook discussions anymore. And Tumblr is just like
I had a friend do a gender reveal recently, just FYI.
It's just like I don't. So you know, it's just I don't really go on them anymore, and they don't really serve any purpose. Like to me, Twitter and Instagram can like get you. Like can book you things, and the other two don't really. So I would get rid of those.
Okay. Yeah.
Renee.
Well, I just got rid of Instagram after like years of being like, I'm gonna delete it one day. I'm gonna get rid of it or whatever. And it finally happened. There was very specific reasons as to why it happened.
Can your NDA? Is your NDA airtight?
Does it allow?
Okay, so one of the biggest ones was we were in the middle of midterms, and like what I believe to be possibly ADHD, though my therapist said it's just my PTSD manifesting as ADHD, kept taking over. And so like when I'm writing and I'm so stressed out, I like have to figure out like everything that needs to get done before like writing. Like I'm like, oh wait, I have to go cook this, or oh I didn't put away the groceries, or like blah blah, or I need to respond to this DM. And like I was doing that a lot, and I was just like,
wait a minute,
I need to respond to this DM.
What? No, do you know what I'm saying? Like it was just like you make excuse in your head. It's just like you're so stressed out about something that you're just like, okay, let me find anything to distract me from doing this thing or whatever. And I just found myself like constantly clicking on everyone's stories until it was clear. And it's just like, I'm not even interested. It's boring.
No, that's what I do
in
pleading,
in my stories, right?
Clear.
And it's no, except for of course not the stories that from the people that I care about, or no, like of course those are. I asked y'all to like send me stuff like now, like I asked Baze, I was like, I don't have Instagram, send me your stories.
I love Baze's stories because it's always like rats fighting with a pigeon in the subway or half-eaten chicken bones, so it's great.
Right? Yeah, I'm into that. But like I just found like. A lot of it, I was just like, I'm just doing this like out of habit. Like this isn't even like fulfilling anything for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like scrolling or like clearing the stories out of habit. So there was that. And then also one other very specific thing that like just gave me the excuse to do it very last minute was, and this isn't, I'm just so you know, like I'm not mad at you at all, John.
But,
Call
out.
But like,
thought we was done last week.
Think again, bitch.
So me and John, like, or me and my friends in general, like, send each other a lot of memes, right? And so John sent me a meme, which was like a really cute meme, very, very much like my brand of meme. But John didn't realize, and I'm just now telling him on the show, which is, I
wow.
guess,
Okay, here's a live. Okay, let's go.
John didn't realize that the person whose story he had sent me was the love interest of the last person that I was dating.
Oh no.
So I'm trying to avoid that person altogether, like by any means. So for their love interest to be like, Renee's watching my stories.
Oh fuck.
We will not have it. We will not have it.
Was gonna be really fucking awkward. And so like me already wanting to delete it and then that thing and then me texting my friend and be like, dude, what do I do so it doesn't look like I watch, and they were like, block them, delete. And I did that. And I was just like, okay.
But you blocked and deleted your own?
Yeah. And that's fine. But listen, it was a good excuse because I've been wanting to do it for a while. I'll come back. But I think right now, midterms, school, everything, I think it's a good time to just be like, okay, like I don't need to be part of that.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. It's not. No, you're fine. It's not.
TBH, I just like look at stories and they just like scroll. They go one by one. I don't even look.
Right.
Who's
you don't even
them.
know. That's the point. Sometimes you don't even know like who's exactly. And that's why I was just like, okay, like there's no point. But anyway.
Oh. Wow.
Well, on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Oot. Damn.
But yeah, anyway. So
I'm actually kind of shook by that.
Welcome back to Podcast of Color, everyone. Renee, there's four of us this episode, and I
love that she thought it was ADD, and then it turned out that it was PTSD.
Well,
we love evolution.
Oh no! We stand growth.
When your
mental illness adapts.
Wait.
And here's
I was gonna say when the mental illness touches the evolution stone, it like
it evolved after Moonstone.
Are you sorry, Renee?
No, it's fine. It's funny.
Also,
I sound like convinced at all.
Oh yeah,
it's funny.
He said, "Are y'all done?"
Fuck you guys.
Are you done?
Are you done? I just also wanted to say a quick thing, and I don't want to make this long, but I just want to say to people, no one owes you their time. No one's time is mandatory.
Say it.
You do not get to put a monopoly on someone. You do not get to demand that people see you. And if someone is busy, you do not need to text them 18,000 times, asking what they're doing when they already told you that they're busy. It is annoying and don't do it, and it will get you blocked.
Mom.
No, I just hate when people do that. Like, oh my God, why don't you DM me back? Or why don't you text me back? Or why don't you? Because I'm busy. That's why. You're not the only person I'm not talking to right now. I text people back when I have time to do that. Don't do that shit. It's childish.
I'm mad at you're not the only person I'm not talking to right now. That is the most Rakeem sentence that has ever.
But honestly, it's so true, Rakeem. Like, girl, if Rakeem don't text you back for a couple days, that's normal for us, and we his friends.
Yeah, that's normal. Like, I need to be better at it, but it's so annoying when people are just like, "Well, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you respond to the and say which anime you were watching? Because I'm busy, or maybe I don't want to sit there and respond to all 210 unread text messages in my phone. Drag myself.
Wow.
But just saying." Calm down. I will get to you when I get to you. Okay? Damn. Shit.
¿Tú es muy populario?
No, it's not that. It's just been happening over the last 3 weeks where people have just been demanding that, like, I don't want to. People have just been demanding that I, like, see them or whatever. And it's like, I barely have time for I've only spent the night at my house. Like, I've only been home before 10 o'clock, maybe like once in the last 3 weeks.
And where was he?
I was. So we're gonna end this section, and we'll see y'all in the minutes of color.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch.
Trash, 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 trash.
So, how y'all doing out there? Y'all doing good? Cute. So, we're gonna get on with the minutes of color. Cute. And the first topic on the docket is, who the fuck bit Beyonce?
Who, bitch? I'm ready.
We all wants to know.
Square the fuck up.
So apparently it happened at the Oscars after party. Jay-Z and Beyonce had threw their own party, and it was super private and low key. And so there's been a lot of speculation on who first was invited to narrow that down, and then amongst that pool of people who it was that bit Beyonce. We know that this person was a woman. We know that this person is an actress, and we know that this person flirted with Jay-Z. So
also, to expand a little bit for those who might not know, what ended up happening at the party was Tiffany Haddish was talking about how, you know, and the reason that Beyonce said she needed to sign a non-disclosure is because Tiffany Haddish was running around talking about how Beyonce was saying that Tiffany needed to not kick this person's ass, and Beyonce apparently said, the quote was, "Oh, girl, that bitch is on drugs. She's not even drunk. She's on drugs. She's not normally like that." And so someone went up and bit Beyonce in the fucking face, and I want to know who. I want to know who. So I can
wait, somebody. Okay.
Yeah, I want to know who, because I want to report you to Blue Ivy and head of security. And I want your limbs chopped off. I want your career to be dead. I want you to be found in. How dare you? Like, you know who I know? You know who knows? Let's ask Quincy Jones. I feel like Quincy Jones knows who bit Beyonce.
He definitely knows.
I feel like he definitely knows who bit Beyonce. But do y'all want to hear like the list of people who were the list of white women who were there that it could have been?
Yes. Yeah, because I really don't think it was a black woman, and it definitely wasn't Lena Dunham, because there was no way she was invited.
Hell no. First, people thought it was Taraji, and then they thought...
There's no way in hell Taraji would be that stupid. She knows better.
Then they thought it was Sanaa Lathan, and Sanaa...
She might be.
No, she went on Twitter. She said, "I ain't bit Beyonce. I'm not fucking stupid."
Did she say that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, okay.
So the list goes as follows. There's a list of 5 that I've seen on Twitter. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Wait, but she got attacked with beam emojis on Instagram.
She really said, "Y'all are funny. Under no circumstances did I bite Beyonce, and if I did, it would have been a love bite."
The hive was coming for her. She said, "I saw what happened to Rachel Ray. I'm not too."
Wow.
Oh my god, I forgot about Rachel Ray.
Poor woman. She was like, "Why the fuck are all these bees?" So I'll name all of the potential suspects, and then we can vote after. So
Carrie Hilson.
She wouldn't have never been allowed that close.
Well, I was like, she probably handed. No, the only reason that Carrie Hilson was there was she was taking out the trash. She was the janitorial staff.
Oh, God.
So there's Gwyneth Paltrow.
Wait,
I'm fucking dead.
If it was anyone, I feel like it's her. Gal Gadot.
I could see that.
I could see that.
Oh, okay.
The way she'd be acting, I could still see that. She'd be doing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Lawrence.
No. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Scarlett Johansson. I thought that would give Renee a chuckle. No, Renee hates her. And Kristen Ritter. So
Who's that?
The one that plays Jessica Jones.
Oh, the Bee in Apartment 23.
Oh no.
Yes.
I hope it wasn't her. But so there.
Wait, I'm hearing Kate Blanchett too.
I think it's Lena Dunham.
I don't think she could. First of all, I don't think Beyonce would ever be that close to her, and I don't think she would be invited to that party. That's just.
But she would just like scam her way in there. No.
I just don't believe it. And I don't believe that Beyonce would be like, "Oh, it's okay, girl. It has to be somebody that she's cool with."
But babe,
she would not talk. She would not talk like that about somebody.
But if Lena Dunham put on like some black slacks, a white shirt, and a tie, you would think she was serving champagne. So I can see if she snuck in. Like,
okay, so Gwyneth Paltrow is probably the funniest, and Scarlett Johansson would be the most satisfying, but I vote Gal Gadot.
I vote Gal Gadot because my friend has a Twitter thread going. He said that he has talked to some people that were, I guess, serving there, that worked the party, and Jennifer Lawrence wasn't invited, and Gwyneth Paltrow wasn't in town.
Okay,
according to him. So I don't know if that's true, but that would take them out.
Chrissy Teigen also said that she has an idea of who it is, and that whoever it is, she thinks is a horrible person. So I vote either Gal Gadot or Jennifer. Oh, you said Jennifer Lawrence wasn't there?
Yeah, she wasn't invited.
I feel like she would still show up, but probably Gal Gadot, because she's the only one that's on this list that would dare flirt with Jay-Z. Could you imagine, like...
I could see Gal Gadot, and I could definitely see Jennifer Lawrence doing it. Like, if Jennifer Lawrence was there, I could still see this being her, because she's very immature.
And she was trying to be, like, quirky. Like, ha ha ha, this is quirky, I'm gonna bite your face.
But according to Tiffany Haddish, Beyonce said that this bitch is on drugs, which is just so funny to me.
Maybe she just thought she was on drugs.
Wait, and then she says at the end that she's not normally like this, which leads me to believe it's not even a white woman, but I don't know.
It might not be. Like, maybe it was like, and you know what, too? I think that Tiffany Haddish would be careful about who she's ready to fight, so it might have been a black woman.
Bitch, what if it's Tiffany Haddish her damn self? And she's just having us. Stop. I don't
Inception.
Biteception.
Tiffany Haddish is going to pull out a lipstick from her bra, and it's going to say Tiffany Haddish.
You're stupid. I was saying like we should create like the Guess Who game, but instead of like Guess Who, it's like Who Bit Beyonce, and it's like a list of like white actresses, and like you have to like, does she wearing glasses?
What
does
if
she act like she's on drugs?
Does she think she's Asian?
It's no, Emma Stone wasn't there.
Emma Stone, yeah. Maybe it was Emma Stone.
It's the number 4 trending topic on Twitter. So someone said American Crime Story, who bit Beyonce? I don't know.
Oh, I could see Gal Gadot, because Gal Gadot be acting a fool like sometimes.
I could see it, and I've heard.
Go ahead and say.
I've heard interesting things about her, but yeah.
What have you heard? What's the tea?
No, allegedly things.
Allegedly.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly.
You have to say allegedly so we don't get sued.
No, he doesn't say allegedly. He says allegedly.
Stop. What do you mean? Put on my accent.
Anyways, because he's racist.
Yeah, I think I'm just looking. I'm sorry. I'm like scrolling Twitter, and I honestly kind of believe that it was Jennifer Lawrence, even though my friend is saying that she wasn't there. She wasn't invited. But you know what? No, it wouldn't be Jennifer Lawrence. It would be somebody that Beyonce is friends with, because she wouldn't say something like, "Oh, girl, she's not usually like this." You know what I mean?
Right. I don't know.
She wouldn't defend her.
Or maybe just somebody she sees at like events often, which would be Jennifer Lawrence.
I know exactly who it is.
Yeah. Who?
Blue Ivy.
Stop. Oh my God.
Blue Ivy did it. I feel like she's sick of Beyonce shit. I feel like
Wait, so are you saying Tiffany Haddish is saying Blue Ivy was on drugs?
So I retract that statement.
Yeah, that's not.
No, Beyonce said that.
Are you saying a 6-year-old was on drugs?
That's
problematic.
Who said that? Who has been saying that?
Somebody said, "Don't let Who Bit Beyonce Gate distract you from the fact that we still don't know where the HBO Formation Tour special is."
Oh, let's talk about it. Sis, where is it? Where is it? I'm ready. You done posted all these Instagram clips and shit last year. We know you have deals with HBO. You have HD IMAX cameras at every damn concert. Where is it? I want to know, because if it's not, I'm not giving you any money until I get it. Any more money until I get it.
Wow.
But I want it.
I really want to know who did it.
I'm
really
on
want to know who did
Sanaa Lathan's Instagram, and like the bee emoji.
Oh no.
They're really, yeah.
The fucking beehive. Oh my.
I'm done.
The hive is scary.
I'm so done. They really are. When you run into them in real life, it's scarier.
It really is. Like, I've only
Oh,
just
no,
sometimes
I
you
love
can
the
listen to
beehive.
them
The
talk.
beehive is perfect and beautiful.
They know they're scary.
And they
They
look like
thrive on it.
Evangelista.
They thrive on being scary. They like this. They like for us to acknowledge that they are scary as shit, and they're also very powerful.
The Bajancy.
The Beagency, not Bay.
Baze and I are like,
No, they on SNL they actually prefer
Yeah, I
pronounce it
know.
Bajancy. But yeah, I get
White-
it. It's B,
White
not Bay.
people.
damn.
White people.
Bay good.
White people.
Maybe Tisha Campbell did it. I feel like maybe it was her.
Because she wanted to prove that
Oh.
she's still here.
She's still here.
And then she immediately broke out into song. I'm still here. A mashup between that and Beyonce's I Was Here.
Oh, don't.
She does like a remix.
Remember
I was
mashup.
here. I lived. I loved. I was
still
here. Here. Okay. Kate Blanchett. The lovely Kate Blanchett.
Who did not buy Beyonce?
Who did not? Who, I don't know. Maybe she did. Maybe it was her.
No white woman is safe until we know.
Has spoken out about Woody Allen. She was asked about her silence on it, and she said, I don't think I've stayed silent at all. At the time that I worked with Woody Allen, I knew nothing of the allegations. I think Blue Jasmine came out in 2013. She said, I knew nothing of the allegations. At the time, I said it's a very painful, complicated situation for the family, which I hope they have the ability to resolve.
Pageant.
Sweetie, no. That's not good enough anymore.
The
pageant.
thing that I find so interesting is how do you like work in an industry with these people and like you never hear about these like glaring news
Bullshit.
stories that are attached to them. Like I
think
like
that
even
there are
just
some-
like a friend hitting you up and being like, "Hey, you're working with this person. Just FYI,
Yeah.
they did X or they're known for Y." Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
really weird to me. It's like really suspect to me when like these people say like, "I never knew about whatever," because it's just like, dude, I knew, and like I knew when I was like fucking 13 that Woody Allen was like a creep. Do you know what I'm saying?
There's some cognitive dissonance going on because there was this actor that I'm mutuals with, not anymore, but I was mutuals with on Instagram, and he 1 minute would post about like he got hired onto a Woody Allen movie, and he like posted about that, and then the next minute it was like right around the Oscars, and then the next minute he was posting about the Me Too movement and like hashtagging things, especially like the night Oscar night. He was like hashtagging, and I was just like I get it, girl. Like you're black, and I'm mostly sure you're gay, and so you probably don't have like a ton of opportunities. But come on, like let's have some tact, please. Let's have a little tact in the way that we're going about this, because you're literally promoting your work with him, and then also talking about you're a part of the Me Too movement, and that's really where like when I'm like thinking about like where these people are coming from, it's just like it's like they really think that they can be a part of both, like they can both defend predators and then also be a part of this Me Too movement.
Right. And then in the article, it said that the actors that are in the next Woody Allen movie have said that they want to donate their salaries to charity or something like that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And that's so weird because it's just like, don't even, if you know it's fucked up, just don't partake in it. Like, what's going on? I don't know. It's really fucking weird.
John Rakeem. Renee. Rakeem. There we go.
I don't have much to add. I mean,
Okay.
I feel like we've talked about it before and all. I feel like people know at this point. Like, and I feel I actually feel like it's almost better if you just shut up, like instead of saying stupid stuff like that. Just like
Right.
That's true.
like
just say no comment.
Don't say anything.
Just say nothing and like admit that that you fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's
So,
it.
Saying
I
you
think
didn't
people
know
keep
is
trying
like
to-
clear bullshit.
Yeah, like people keep trying to like make these excuses as to why. Like it's actually better if you just don't say anything or just say, "Yeah, I messed up. I'm learning," and then you move on. Like people will be so much more receptive to that than like trying to, like make excuses for as to why you did this messed up thing. Like, so
Yeah. And then I just want to have a moment to speak about Naomi Hersey. She was a black trans woman of I think Ethiopian descent, Somali descent. She was found stabbed to death in London, in North London, and Heathrow Airport Hotel. Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, you know, I really don't have like a whole lot else to add to that because I feel like we've spoken about this ad nauseum, and I just want to add like a quote from one of her neighbors, and they said she was fun to be around and a real character. She was into music and tennis. She was a nice person. So I just want to just throw that out there.
Yeah, it's fucked.
And remind y'all to say her name and remember the names of black women that are losing their lives as well.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Baze, before you move on from that, I also, because I feel like this kind of got swept under the news cycle in the last few days, but you know, what's his name in the White House had done that the I guess it's like I don't know if it's an executive order or whatever, but tried to put out legislation that tries to say that trans people can't be in the military, and it grandfathers people. I think it grandfathers people in, but like no new recruits are allowed to come in. And as wrong as it is, I wanted to comment on one specific part of it because I feel like what this administration does that I find really gross and disgusting is they like to use trans issues as like a distraction all the time. And I think it came out like on Friday night, like around, I forgot, something was going on that day too, and he dropped that. And I feel like part of it was because of like the whole Stormy Daniels thing too, but he did that as like I don't want to say as a distraction because we're able to walk and chew gum at the same time, but to distract some people, because I feel like trans issues are, even if you do consider yourself like quote liberal or Democrat or whatever you are on like the left side of the spectrum, a lot of people are super transphobic and like no matter like where you fall. And I feel like it's an issue that only like a very few people really like show up and fight for, which is unfortunate. And I feel like they keep using trans lives as like a scapegoat when they need, you know, people to get fired up about something and distract from something else. And I think that that's really, it's like they just use like trans people and then they use like dreamers as like bargaining chips and like distractions, and I just find that so gross, you know. And you know, I just wanted to mention it before because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it talked about, and it only happened like 3-4 days ago.
Oh, go ahead, John.
No, and also oh, excuse me. The 31st, this Saturday, I think, is Trans Day of Visibility. Which is just celebrating awareness to the transgender community. So, yeah, hopefully if there's an event in your area, I'm sure there is one. I think the LA LGBT Center is having one on Wednesday, but that doesn't make any sense to me why they would do it on Wednesday. But
wait, John, it's once a year, right?
Yeah.
Wow, damn. I remember Trans Visibility Day last year like it happened yesterday.
Yeah,
right? It happened so fast.
Going by quick. Yeah. They said the years go by faster as you get older.
Well, hopefully the next 3 years are up really fast because...
yeah. So I want to touch on the show Grownish. There was a bit of a conversation going on Twitter about a recent topic that they did, which was dating as a black woman. And so there was just an episode where the two sisters who are played by Chloe and Halle, which also their album is fucking amazing. Oh my god!
Oh, it's so good. Oh,
it's so good. I love the song for Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, Warrior. Yes,
I love that song so much. It's so like, I mean, obviously that's why they chose it, but it's so cinematic. But yeah, it was basically them two talking about how hard it is, you know, to date as black women on campus because so many black men go for non-black women, and you know, just talking about the hypocrisy of like wanting black features but only on women that are not black and all that. which led to the discussion on Twitter about the fact that they really don't have any dark-skinned women in the cast, and the only dark-skinned person on the cast is like is a guy, Aaron, and he is like obsessed with like light-skinned mixed girls, and it was actually kind of weird because to prove that he was not just into them, he went and got like a dark-skinned woman and like took her to the table, and like showed her off as like somebody that he thought was very pretty, and then she just disappeared again.
Oh, yikes!
And so and though there have been dark skinned characters, like recurring characters, there's not any dark skinned Black people in the main cast, and so that caused like a little bit of a debate, and a lot of light skinned people were like, well, there's dark skinned people that have been in the on the show, and Zoe, the main character, dated a dark skinned basketball player earlier and in the season and all that, and it's just like it's just the thing. I mean, we talked about this during our discourse on colorism, but it's just this thing where light skinned people sound like white people when they talk about things, because instead of just listening to dark-skinned people about colorism and the way that it affects our lives, you feel that you need to say, well, I didn't choose to be light-skinned and we're all Black, blah, 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 blah. And you sound literally like white people talking about we're all from Africa, if you really think about it. Like, yes, we're all Black and nobody's taking away your Blackness from you, but at the end of the day, like, you're more palatable to white folks. Like, they like you more. They treat you better. Like, you guys, on average, make more money than dark-skinned people. You guys are more likely to be hired than dark-skinned people. You're less likely to be convicted than dark-skinned people. So, like, this is not just something that, like, dark-skinned people are just bitter and just, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not just being bitter and jealous. Like, this is a real life thing. And I was thinking about Grownish, because as much as I actually do enjoy the show, I do think that there's like a lot of issues with it. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, it's not really like, I think they kind of wanted it to be, or at least it feels like it's kind of presented as if it's like this like revolutionary show, because it's like about a young Black college student. And I was like, well, it's not, to me it really isn't. I was like, it's like 2.0, like 2018 version of A Different World. But then I was like, well, actually, A Different World had dark-skinned people on it in the main cast, so maybe not, you know what I mean? Maybe it's a little bit regressive in that regard. But yeah, I don't know, it just was a little frustrating to me to be like on Twitter and seeing like so many light-skinned people like jumping in to dismiss dark-skinned people on our feelings about that, because just simply having light-skinned Black people is not representation. As long as light-skinned people are stand-ins for Black people, as long as light-skinned people are the only type of Black people that are allowed to be represented, there's still a problem. So
looks at Love Simon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love Simon, but yeah, can y'all please please, somebody who fails a paper bag test, like, I'm hoping that Black Panther like shows y'all that we do want to see dark-skinned men and women. We do. Like, nobody, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just like, it's like frustrating. Like think about all the actresses, like Tessa Thompson, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Halle Berry, Sanaa Lathan,
well, the Beehive got her ass in check, so
yeah, but like the main chick from the girl from Grownish, I forgot her name right now.
Yara Shahidi.
Yeah, Yara Shahidi. Like, all these women like are a certain skin tone and they have a certain curl pattern. So it's like, you can't just say like that just is what it is. Like, there's a reason why that is. Anyway, I just want to go off a little bit on that. Beyonce and Jay-Z were seen filming in Jamaica. The outfits were interesting.
I liked all of them except for that orange one that looked like it was from Party City. But, no.
They were dragging her for the wig, too.
Oh, well, the Hive hates when Beyonce's wig is not moisturized. The Hive drags Beyonce like no other. Like, it is just, it's actually magical to watch. But that orange outfit was not it. But I did love that suit she had on that was like rainbow color when she was like sitting on
I was just going to say.
Yeah, that one was cute.
That kind of reminds me of like bubble wrap paper. I just wanted to like push on it and like see if it like air came out.
Well,
it was a weird texture. It just looks like bubble wrap.
I think it's iconic. Like, if she did the formation dance in that, I would have lived. But what do you guys think it's for? Do you think it's for the tour? Do you think it's like an album? Or do you think the joint album is happening? What do you think is going on?
I'm hoping that it's a new video, it's a music video for like new music. What I think it probably is just promo, like the stuff that they're going to be playing in the background.
Like with Blake Lively's.
Like the interludes.
Like that. Yeah, exactly. That's what I think that's going to actually be.
I kind of hope it is, because I don't want Beyonce and Jay-Z to have a joint album. Like, just seeing all the music that they've done together, it's like Beyonce's always the best part of an average song. And it's like, you know, and it's like, I feel like she's having fun on other people's music, and then she like takes her own very seriously. But sometimes when it comes to Jay-Z, she's a little bit, it's because she loves him, so she'll
I mean, you saw he told her to do that song with Eminem, and we saw how that worked out.
Right. I mean, she sounded great, but it's just like, it's not.
Yeah, but just because she sounded great, we're looking at the overall product.
Right. This just hurts. That's all.
Pretty hurts.
Yes. The best part about it was, like, in the videos in Jamaica, like, you hear people talking to her like, come over here. Like,
I didn't see any of the videos. I didn't know that there were.
There were a few. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh, there were just people in, like, they were like yelling at her in patois, like, to like come over, and like one was like, well, I'm not gonna do the accent, but they're like, hey gal, like, come over here. and I'm just looking like, do you really think Beyonce's gonna get off this damn bike and come like, no. But and like one of them was flirting with her in the video in front of Jay-Z, and I'm like, y'all are bold, but go off. Like,
I'm sure they're used to it at this point.
I mean, honestly, shoot your shot. Like, when else you gonna see Beyonce? So,
shoot your shot.
True.
That's what I tell guys in bed, you know?
Oh, God.
When else you gonna see Beyonce or shoot your shot?
Shoot your shot. Never mind. That was a gross joke.
Okay, so shout out to Virgil Abloh. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's the founder of Off-White and was a longtime creative director for Kanye West. He will be the next artistic director of menswear at Louis Vuitton.
Wow.
Yeah.
Louis
Vuitton becomes Louis Vuitton's first African-American artistic director and one of the few black designers at the top of a French heritage house. There's also Olivier Rousteing, and who's the director of Balmain, and Oswald Boateng, who is a designer for Givenchy's. Who was a designer for Givenchy's menswear from 2003 to 2007. So, I mean, everyone who's black in the fashion world has been very excited and has been talking about this all day. So, just shout out to him. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
He's like the first black person who's like done a European luxury line or something, or like who what is it? He's like,
well, he's the first African American to do it. Yeah,
is that not what I said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah. I know. I was just reiterating your points.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It was the tone.
Oh. Okay.
No, not in a bad way. Just you know.
What is this about? Who put the a trans woman is suing Tinder?
Yeah. So in Portland, Oregon, a woman is suing Tinder because they deleted her profile, and she's claiming that that Tinder is deleting it because she's trans. So basically, she got a lot of reports, like people reporting her profile.
Oh,
yeah, it's unfortunate, and it's like people are, you know, because I think there's an option. I don't have Tinder, so if anyone's on it, you can correct me. But there's like an option for like why you're reporting it. It's like if it's offensive or it's this, and it's just like, you know, there's no real reason. And she said in the interview too that like, you know, this happens to trans girls a lot, and like I know what it means when people report when her profile gets reported all the time. It's, you know, there can't be any other reason because, you know, and all she's saying is like, I just want to date like everyone else, and it's because I know you can actually I think you can put trans as an option on your gender identity, but yeah, it's unfortunate. She got it deleted, so now she's suing, and Tinder hasn't commented on that yet. So Yeah.
Well, fuck you, Tinder.
And fuck you, everyone trying to report her. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Right, right.
The power of minding your business is like amazing. Like you could really just go about your day and not even think twice about it. But for some reason, you have to be a miserable asshole.
And I just want to empower women and people who are experiencing this. That people like. I think one of my friends that I follow, somebody was like DMing her that like, you're not a real woman and you're a boy, and you know, if you want to date a guy, like you're still, you know, you have a penis and blah blah blah. And so what she did is she screen capped this conversation and posted it. I was like, fuck yeah, because now like me and our other friends, we're going to report this person and like have their profile instead get deleted because that person is being offensive and violent. Like trans women shouldn't have to take this, and like, or anybody actually, but you know, like I think being silent in our own situations is like, that's how we feel sometimes. Like we feel like we don't have any power, but I want to empower people to like put these kinds of people on blast because that's what they deserve, you know, that they're being violent and I don't know, it's just, it shouldn't fly anymore. So I was like, I'm really glad you posted. I told her, I was like, I'm really glad you posted it because now I can report it and like hopefully their profile will get deleted because it's wrong.
Yeah. And hopefully Tinder will like react to the reporting of these assholes.
Right.
The way that
they should investigate. Like, why is it like, look at her profile before they delete it.
Right. Yeah.
Renee, you wanted to talk about college depression? Did you not?
No,
Wait.
yeah, it's fine. No, no, that's fine.
Segue?
Yeah,
Segue?
so I'll just go through it really quickly. Just because I'm experiencing it. Well, depression and anxiety. It's just happening to a lot of people. So the title of the article is "Record Numbers of College Students Are Seeking Treatment for Depression and Anxiety, but Schools Can't Keep Up." And basically, like, so like a lot of kids are going for help because of the issues that they're having during school, but there's not a lot of money backing up the amount of help they would need, like the hours for the therapists or counselors, etc., or what have you. So it's just like, and it's just something that I kind of really just wanted to touch on really quickly because I wanted students to know, like, I dropped out in 2013 because of a lot of things going on with my mental health. I'm back now and I'm still dealing with a lot of those things, and those things have reoccurred because of school, because there's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
There's a lot of financial stress. There's a lot of stress where, like, you know, like, it's just a paper, but like something like as simple as a paper can dictate like your future chances in life. Like
right.
when you look at them and add them up or whatever, because a grade can fuck you up, can fuck up your academic career. And so there's a lot of pressure. So I just cause I didn't know when I was having a hard time back then, how often it was, and like how many people that I talked to afterwards that were like, oh yeah, I dropped out too, or I took a break too, or like this happened to me, or like I was going through a really hard time. Like I just wanted like people out there to know like that it happens. It's fucked up. I don't want to say it's normal. It's fucked up, but it happens, and like you're not alone. And like, yeah, if you need to seek out help, you know, do your best. But even that's hard, because it's like, if I don't have time to like read everything that's assigned to me, like where am I going to find time to carve out an hour and like go talk to somebody? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of, yeah, it's just like, I really just wanted to like put it out there to make sure that people are aware that like this is happening a lot more than you'd think, and that there's no shame behind it. So yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. No, yeah. It's not, I don't know. I was just thinking, I don't know what the word is, but I don't find comfort knowing, it's weird. I don't find comfort knowing that other people are going through hardships, but like,
right. No,
you know, when it's something that you can relate to and like you think you're alone, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would express it. But
no,
you know
it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all, especially because like right now I'm in school with one of my best friends, and like we're both kind of watching each other like unravel, and it sucks just doing it on your own, but seeing like one of your best friends going through it too, like, and you both doing it at the same time is just like, fuck. It's like really fucked. It sucks. So it's definitely not more like, comforting knowing that other people are going through it per se, but it's just like comforting or maybe just like kind of like there's a solidarity and like, okay, this is happening a lot, like, and it's not just like because I'm fucking crazy or because like of all these things or whatever. So, or basically because I don't want people to internalize the things that are thought of for people that like are struggling with mental illness. Like, I don't want people to think that like, oh, it's just because I'm crazy, or like I can't get out of bed because I'm lazy, or like I'm not going to the doctor or like going grocery shopping because like X reason. It's like this shit is fucking you up, and that happens.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say for college, but I just definitely, I mean, you know, I tell you guys all the time, this is what I'm feeling right now with my current job. And like I decided to open up to someone, one of my coworkers who I feel like, or who appeared to me as like the strongest person on the team, like who always like is very confident, like takes breaks because it's like, oh, they make everything look easy. And I had a one-on-one with them, and you know, I'm telling them everything I'm feeling. Like, I have this pit in my stomach when I'm driving to work, and sometimes I wake up before my alarm clock because I'm having nightmares about work.
Fuck.
And I'm like, is this like, I feel like crazy. And she like made sure nobody was looking, of course, because she wanted to keep her form. But she was like, John, this is normal. Like, when I was in your position, I wanted to quit within the first 3 months. And then I was like, okay, then when I made it through 3 months, I thought, let me try 6 months. And then 6 months became a year. And then she just like, now I'm here. She's been there for like 10 years. And like, she's just like, hang in there. And not like I said earlier, it did make me feel comforting knowing that like someone else had went through this, but it made me think like, even the people you think aren't having any issues, like they've been there too, you know, like it's a struggle. And like, I thought it was because of my incapabilities, you know, like I'm not strong enough, I'm not smart enough, but like, it could be
you
anybody.
Internalize all that shit. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
Fuck. On to lighter subjects.
I think that's about all the time we've got.
Whoa, just really quick.
Wait, can I? Oh. Okay, wait.
Go.
Rakeem,
go.
I
was just gonna say R.I.P. to the Craigslist personal section. That's where Megan started. And
okay, thank you. Okay, so I put that article on there, and I think it was because Congress wanted to pass a bill regarding sex trafficking.
Right.
But like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm speaking to a lot of people right now, but Craigslist was like a really big part of my queer growing up. Like, we didn't have Grindr, and we didn't have Scruff and all these apps and Jacked, and like before all that was Craigslist. And honestly, Craigslist is where I learned a lot of my language and a lot of acronyms and a lot about cruising and like not just that, but like there was also the missed connections feature, which I always thought was really romantic. And like, even though a lot of it was kind of gross, but like a lot of it really helped. I actually met it's kind of embarrassing, but I actually met a few folks because of misconnections, because like people, I was like really shy back then, and I also didn't know if that person was gay, and like I didn't want to risk my safety, so I was like, let me post a misconnection and hopefully they'll see it. And like they did, you know. And like I can't imagine how many people that's affecting too, and how many people use Craigslist like to just navigate in their small towns about like where you can hang out, but still being discreet, you know? Right.
And then I also want to add, for sex workers, like it's taking away something that's a lot safer for them. I'm not going to say safe, but a lot safer for them than them having to like cruise the streets at night. Right. Because with Craigslist, they're able to like email back and forth, try to see and gauge if like this person's creepy or not. You know, and so it's like it makes it a lot less safe for safe workers for this to be gone.
Yeah, and you know what the fucked up part about it is? Like, the people who passed this bill are probably the same people who used Craigslist to like meet their, you know, whatever. because they were trying to be discreet too. And I don't know, because they got like, they're bitter about something, they're going to go like pass this bill on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, a lot of them are conflating sex work with trafficking. So I think that's what's going on too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Also, I just want to say, whoever you are, the person who gave me my first gay experience in the back lot of parking 12 at UCLA, thank you. And I almost Craigslist.
Oh, was that a Craigslist thing?
My first gay experience was in the back of the back of lot 12 in UCLA in a senior's car when I was like a sophomore, and yeah. So yeah, I'll miss it.
Yeah. Growing up in the IE, I saw a lot of posts about like which parks. So if anyone's listening who's from there, it's probably Fairmount Park. You probably won't see those posts anymore because the personal page is deleted. But if that's where you want to go at night when the sun goes down, there's that park to hang out at.
Yeah. Okay, Baze, I know we're running long, so yeah.
Okay, just really quickly, I thought Vanjie's dismissal from RuPaul's was unfair, and I want her back next season or All Stars. Okay, bye.
Well, I mean, she did lose lip sync pretty fairly, but we'll talk about that later.
But that dress, though. Okay.
Anyway. I agree. The dress was terrible, but
compared to Carb. Okay, but anyway.
Oh no, but the lip sync was not.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Ms.
So
Vanjie. Vanjie. Honestly,
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
welcome back.
So, this week's Dickcourse.
welcome to
The Dickcourse. So this, the topic for this week, I wanted to talk about. Why am I blanking? I'm sorry. I'm having a moment. That sneeze like really knocked my brain out. I wanted to.
The brain jumped out.
Huh?
I said the
brain jumped out. I wanted to talk about definitions and the way that we define things.
Fergalicious.
I was like, I actually got a, huh?
I'm sorry, I was being annoying. I said question, like Destiny's Child, like you said
question.
Definitions. Like,
tell me what you think about me.
But like how we define our relationships. So like, for example, I have a very different way of defining friendships to like say Mark. And we actually had our whole argument about it because I was like, I'm very strict about who I call my friend. Whereas Mark is like more free about who he calls his friend. And so like, I'm like, bitch, that's not my friend. You know what I mean? Because I like so the question
There's a lot of weight to that word.
Yeah. So the question is, have you ever been in a situation where you and you define someone else as something that they did not define you as? And if so, like, how did you handle that situation? So for me, my thing goes back to high school because I have like major trust issues with people, which is why I'm not quick to jump on, oh, this is my friend. I might sometimes use that word if it's like the easiest thing to use at the time, but for the most part, like I really don't call people my friends unless I feel like this is my friend. It goes really back to high school because I was hanging out with a group of people and I spent the majority of high school being friends with, quote unquote, friends with them. And they were really dismissive of me. They didn't invite me out. Like when, outside of school, they would like, it would be like Monday and they would talk about like what a fun weekend they had right in front of me. And I was never invited, but they always wanted me around at school. But when it came to be outside of school, like they really did not. And there just wasn't a whole lot of loyalty. There was a lot of shit talking. And so I began to realize like, it's funny because I would have described them as my friends, but after I graduated high school, I was like, those are my friends. And like, I had zero interest. I saw one of them on a trip to Vegas. Since then, I have not spent any time with any of these people. And I realized like that they were not my friends. I was defining them as something that I don't really feel that they defined me as, or maybe that's just how they treated their friends. I don't know. But, so I'm now at a point where like, if it takes me a minute, like, it took me a minute to call you guys my friends. And then there was like a point where I was like, oh, like you guys are like some of my closest friends. Like you guys are like some of my best friends. And I was like, that took me a minute to even say that, because even though I was like starting to consider it, I was like, oh, I don't want to go there yet, because you know what I mean? Like I was like, I'm still getting to know y'all. And I didn't really want to give y'all all of that right then and there. I was like there's got to be a trial period. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I'm just very protective of like who, you know, who I'm letting. Because to me, if I'm calling my friend, I'm letting you into my heart. It's not like, so my thing is less romantic, which I imagine some of you guys are probably going to talk some more romantic things.
Bust it wide open for a space.
Oh, God.
Your heart.
You're so stupid.
Not my
bust it open.
Wait, Biz.
Yeah, so like when I consider someone my friend, I'm letting you into my heart, and
I tell all
I
my
don't
friends,
just let anybody
open up.
Sorry.
You know, I just can't even have like a serious.
Let her speak. Let her.
No, I'm just kidding. 'Cause you know
She's
what?
gonna delete us from her friends list.
We sure did do this to Renee earlier, so like I'm gonna just eat it.
Biz, can I ask you a question, Biz?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I pictured the Naomi Campbell gif where she's like, no.
No, I don't know which one you're talking about.
Oh.
I feel like she says no a lot.
So I know it's not that easy, and you said something earlier about trial period. What are like the milestones someone has to go through to like, and you don't have to answer, of course. But I'm just curious to know, like, what does someone have to do to qualify to be?
I'm just kidding.
When is the trial over? When can we be your friends?
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's no like particular point. Like, I can't say like there was a point where I was just like, John's my friend or Keen's my friend. Like, there's no particular point, but I guess there's like, I know you, and I've like gotten to spend time around you. I've gotten to know you, and I feel there's a mutual benefit to our relationship. And then I feel like I can count on you. And so those are like the things where I'm just like, okay, like I can like call this person up, or I can like text them, or I can like, you know what I mean? Like, or like I can rely on like seeing them regularly, you know what I mean? And so like, I mean, obviously that has changed now with us because I live here, but you know, it's just, I guess it's just something I've come to realize. It's never a moment where I'm like, because I'm not like, I say I'm strict about it, but I'm strict about it in terms of like showing me who you are. I'm not strict about it like I have like a 3-month plan or anything. It's just like when I see you, when I feel like I'm really seeing you and I'm really I really get to know you, then I'm like, okay, this is my friend. You know, there's some people that I interact with out here, and I see them, you know, from time to time, and I'm like, I'm not comfortable calling them my friend. Because I don't know them like that, and they've not shown me that side of themselves where I feel like I know them. You know what I mean? I just feel like I get to know a side of them, but I don't really feel like I know them as a full person. And so I'm like, okay, you're not like, you're an associate, and that's not like me being shady or mean or anything, but just some people are associates and some people are friends. I feel like if you're an associate, you're just somebody I engage with from time to time. Everybody that I know, and everybody that I interact with is just not going to be my friend. Like, that's like, because when I say friend, I have expectations that come along with that. You know what I mean? Like, I expect that I'm going to get something out of our relationship, and you're going to get something out of me in our relationship. But if that's not the case, then we're not friends. So that's I don't know, that's just how I feel about that.
What about the second part of that question, like boyfriend?
What was the second
or
part?
Partner? Because in the doc, it's you know, like, yes,
yeah. So I said that for you guys because I knew y'all was gonna be some romantic ass bitches.
You didn't put that in for us, okay?
I really did. I really only put that because most of my stuff is like, because I have very limited experience romantically with people. I don't really have a lot to say about that. But I mean, even Mark will tell you that I was very slow to come around to, even though I ended up being the one that asked him to be my boyfriend, I was really slow to the idea of us.
How long were you guys dating before that happened?
What milestones did Mark have to go through?
I asked him on like August 1st of 2015.
And
we started like hooking up in what was it? I think end of April.
Okay, so that's a good minute.
Yeah, I mean, I was very resistant to being like, this is a relationship. I mean, granted, like before that, I felt like we had kind of already been in a relationship before that. But I think that was like the moment it became like official, like we had spoken about it. But we had kind of pretty much been exclusively dating at that point. And so I think the easiest thing is to just say August 1st, but it was before that.
Oh.
Yeah. But it took me a while. It took me a couple months to be like, this is like somebody that like I really could like see myself with. I was very resistant to the idea.
Oh, God. Every time y'all talk about your like origin story, I'm just like... Oh,
not the origins.
Part of it is part of it wasn't so much because like I was trying to see where Mark was at. More of it was like I saw where Mark was at, and I wasn't sure if I was there because I was just like,
that's
like,
self-awareness.
Mark was like, I was like, Mark is like a forever type of person. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of person you marry. So I was like, I'm not ready for all that yet. I was like, I'm still in my 20s. I need to like make some mistakes. You know.
Right.
Classic air sign.
That's so nice, babe.
Yeah, I really didn't want to make the commitment, but it ended up working out.
That's real though, because sometimes you feel like, oh my God, like what if I do this and like someone else comes along or something like that, or like you might have an itch to scratch. What?
Yeah. I mean, that's real though. You like that's why I hear a lot of New York relationships and especially Atlanta relationships don't work out, is because there's too many options and people like are not satisfied with having what they have.
You know, I will say this though.
So many boys, little time.
I'll say that I think that sometimes, and I'm guilty of this, and Baze, we've actually talked about this not too long ago, where you know, you feel like there, like you know that it's right to like be with this person, and then sometimes there might be like these little like things that might spring up like here and there, and you're like, oh well. And I remember in the movie Why Did I Get Married by Tyler Perry. I know I'm bringing up a Tyler Perry movie.
I know.
But there was the thing in that movie where there was like the 80-20 rule, and it's like you have your 80, like most people can only give you like 80% of what you would want or whatever, and then when people cheat or whatever, it's because they like want that extra 20, and you always leave your 20 for the 80. And I don't necessarily think that that's like, you know, applies to a lot of things, but that's kind of how dating is sometimes. But can I go next, I guess? Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so for me, like, I'll start with dating and then go to friendship. So for me, like, it takes me I'm gonna tell on myself.
Yourself jumped out.
It takes me a while to kind of feel like, I guess, safe in situations, and part of that is just because of like, and I guess sometimes oh my God, I can get very like scared. I keep doing these damn past tense. Can get very scared of like commitment, because sometimes it's like, oh well, what if this person like hurts me, or what if they like leave me for this other person, or do this and that, or like what if like, you know, sometimes like the person that you're flirting with that lives like 5,000 miles away, like what if they come like and move? Like there's just a ton of different things that could happen, and so sometimes I would just be like, oh my God, like is this like what I really want? Or basically you were saying, like when you're in LA and you're in New York, there are all those options, but what I find is that if you explore those options, or you are with the other person and don't think about the options, or you're with the options and think about the person, like then that's kind of when it's like, yeah, I kind of know that like this isn't really like being like dating around, whatever, isn't really it for me. Like, and also for me, it's always, I don't know how to explain it. Something just clicks. Like, I don't know how to explain what this is, but always for me, it's like, it always happens at like the most random moments where I will just like be hanging out with them, and like we'll be watching like, I don't know, like the Great British Bake Off or something like that, and they'll say something like, oh, like I really liked these kind of croissants or something, but those, I don't know. And then something will just click with me, and I'll just be like, damn, like I really want to hang out with this person all the time, or I really want to be with this person. So for me, there's really no way to like define like how or when it should happen. And I don't necessarily try to put like a time period as to when, you know, something is official or whatever. But for me, like feeling wise, it always happens in like these really like random moments. Like, I'll say the one time it happened before, like in 2014, when I was, because I think I mentioned on the show, I've been like in love like once, and and I knew that at that point that it happened because we were playing a game or something, and they had said this little dumb joke, and I just remember staring at them for like 5 minutes after they said that joke, and I was just like, wow. Like, and after that, something just clicked, and it like made sense for me, I guess. I don't know. And then when it comes to like friendships, I guess, Baze, I'm kind of the opposite of you. Like, but I want to be more how you are. I call people my friend, and I probably shouldn't. Because I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like because I didn't have a lot of friends, I like to say that I have a lot of friends, but I don't have time for a lot of friends, which is like weird.
I did that too. I had that same issue, but then I started realizing like how like useless that is if they're not really your friend. I mean, it sounds good to when you're telling people about like, oh, this is my friend and this is my friend, but like when you're like actually comes down to it, like a lot of those people are not your friends.
No, they're not. And it's like I think the older that I'm getting, the more I don't want a lot of friends, honestly. Like, because it's I really
want a lot of associates because there's a benefit to knowing a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it's good to be on like cordial terms with people, but I don't want a lot of like friends because I think as everyone gets older and everyone gets their lives, like you can't divide, like you're not going to have time for every single relationship, like as much as you would like to put into it. And for me, like it's been a struggle over the last few months because I'm really struggling with like trying to fit in time for all the people that I consider friends. Like I have a friend that got engaged and I haven't been able to even call her because I haven't been home to like call her to talk about it. And it's like I feel terrible about that. And it's like I want her in my life. Oh. And it's like, yeah, it's garbage. And it's like I feel like trash. And
you're the gay friend. I'm kidding. I said, and you're the gay friend.
Oh, I know. But and you know what's crazy is she called me like first. And we talked about it for like 5 to 7 minutes. But I've obviously talked to her and been like, you know, I'm sorry that I haven't talked to you. But it's like, I just feel like I don't have the time. I'm learning as I get older and like dating and like trying to further like my career and stuff that it's like, it's hard to do that. And so I don't have the energy to call like all these people my friend. And then what someone told me is, you're going to have to cut off a lot of people. You're going to have to disappoint a lot of people. And like, you're going to feel like a crappy person for it. But it's just you growing up. And it's like, and there's nothing bad about that. And I think sometimes we get like conditioned to think that when we kind of lose contact with people that the person's like this, that, you know, we're demonizing them or like demonizing ourselves. And that's not really it sometimes. It's just, you know, you just can't really I don't know if that makes sense. People just grow apart sometimes, I guess. And it's sad, but it happens, you know?
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah, I was talking to my coworkers about that. Some people are like, I was like, I was quoting myself and I was like, yeah, some people are just a chapter. And she was like, yeah, some people are just a sentence.
Dang. Renee?
Oh, wait. No, you go.
Oh, okay. Well, I think with the relationships part, I think I'm pretty quick to say what that is for me because, like, I wouldn't verbalize it and I wouldn't want the other person to put a label on it unless I knew I was ready. If that makes sense, like, for friends, friends is a little loose for me. I can say, and I'll admit that, and I'm okay with that. But with boyfriends or like whatever, I'm not going to say this person's my boyfriend unless like we both had like talked about it and we can both agree. So that way there's no confusion. Like no
confusion.
Yeah. So like sometimes I'm like, you know, seeing someone and we'll be out in public and like, oh, so who's your boyfriend? Or like, who's like, introduce me to your boyfriend. I was like, I think it's awkward because like that's not my boyfriend, but this is so and so, you know. But I think with friends, I'm going to echo what Rakeem said. I wish I was a little more like Baze, but I'm kind of like Rakeem and probably even worse because I don't have the best. I think you guys know this. I don't have the best judgment of character. I'll call lots of people friends. Ooh. But
I love tea.
But even
That's
though
trash.
even though what trash on I'm dragging myself, right?
No, because Bae said we love tea. That was trash.
I'll call lots of people my friends, but I think there's different types or like levels to it. Like, yeah, this is my friend, but you're like never gonna come to my house, or like you're my friend, but like I'm not gonna let you crash here, or like I'm not gonna. You're like I'll go to some friends about certain things, you know. If I'm feeling a certain way about, I don't know, a certain situation in my life, I'm not gonna go to just any friend, you know, even though. I feel like most of my friends I can talk to about something. I think each friend in my life serves a different purpose, and I don't think that there's anything wrong about that. I think I think it's okay to acknowledge who you can talk to about certain things. Like, I don't know, no offense to you guys, but I can't talk about my dysmorphia, you know, like, how does this feel like? I think I asked you guys a while back, like, you guys identify as a male. Like, did you ever feel like tucking in your penis? And then, like, I'm pretty sure you guys told me no, right?
I don't think I did, but I think that's actually a great discourse for the future, because I think I actually have a lot of thoughts on that, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, I think I've had this conversation with some of you guys, right? And, like...
Yeah, I know we've had it, John.
Yeah, and, like,
a few times,
you know,
actually.
And I think I can't talk to just like anybody about, you know, going further than that. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that we're like any less of a friend. It just means that I think that the term is like, there's layers to it, you know? But there's also like acquaintances, like Baze was saying, or like associates. I would still call some of those folks my friends, but I just wouldn't, you know, talk about certain things. Yeah, so I think that's where I'm gonna go with that.
Well, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Well, maybe I'll let Renee go. Well, I'll ask, and then Renee, you can answer it when you go. Like, do y'all? Well, I kind of know the answer for Renee, but in terms of like, no, it's not shady, but in terms of like prioritizing them, like, how do you feel about, like, do you feel like one is more important than the other, or do you feel like, or do you feel almost like they're like kind of equal footing, or you just, you know, or you need them both but just in different ways, or like, how does that work for you?
So the question is, do you prioritize like romantic relationships over friendships?
I feel like they both answered this before, actually.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Well, because it's like how we define it, and then I'll ask after you go, Renee.
Also wanted to throw another question out there really quick too. And so like, what about like situations like where I've seen people be like, one person say, "Oh, we used to talk or we used to date," and another person's like, "Bitch, what? Like, does that ever happen to you?" Because I'm not necessarily talking about boyfriends, but like there's like even like the definition of like talking or the definition of dating is like different for different people. So yeah.
So she's shaking the table.
Baze stirring the pot.
Chef Bezardi.
So with the I have so many thoughts. I'm sorry. Like, y'all know that I can like talk for 3 hours. I'm gonna go with what I was gonna say originally, and then acknowledge your questions, because otherwise, like, it's gonna.
Yeah.
But basically, fuck, I lost my train of thought. Okay, I'll acknowledge the questions. All right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think. Y'all know my answer on this already, but I think it is a lot more nuanced than I've maybe kind of put into words before. But I mean, I personally, like, when I saw on the docket that like the question was like, how do you know when you're dating somebody? I was just like, I don't even like.
Oh, I didn't even get to answer that one.
That's not a priority for me, really. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and like, I think just people work in different ways. And I think what makes person A happy is not necessarily what will function for person B. And for me, I am incredibly happy when I'm surrounded by people I care about, and I don't care whether it's romantic or friendship. Like, I'm just incredibly happy just having people around me that I know care about me, and that I know give a shit about me, that will put their necks out for me when they need to, and I will do the same for them. And I'll say this again and again, and I've been incredibly lucky to have the type of friends that I do, because I feel like I would not have survived, and in multiple meanings of that word, had it not been the people that are around me right now. So I am incredibly picky as to who I call a friend. And that's maybe because my friends have put the bar really high. And so and maybe that's unfair, but like, that's where they put it. So now when I'm just like, oh, like, wait, people are capable of this, like right here, that's what you're capable of. And I'm capable of that for you. And then so now when like other people come around and they're just like, I like maybe can do the absolute lowest bar but still call myself your friend. I'm just like, that doesn't do anything for me. And apart from that, I just like, there's a thing, and I want to get better at this. This is something that I acknowledge that I should get better at. But like, I feel like sometimes I have no control over that. Like, I have no control when I have, like, let's say like somebody I think is a really good friend, but then repeatedly does things that I think is fucked up. Like, I can't control the way my like emotions, or like the way my mind says, like, starts looking at them and starts being like, that's not somebody you can trust. And little by little just starts like building, closing them out. Like, I can't control that. That just happens. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and maybe it's to do with like my trauma, but like, I wish that I could forgive people and maybe like trust them again a lot easier than I do now. Like, that's something that I want to work on for sure. But like, when it comes to friends, when it comes to dating, I am usually, not always, sometimes I'm a really bad judge of character as well, but I'm usually incredibly picky about who I want around me. And so, yeah, it's just like, and for me, like, there's this thing, maybe it's weird, and like, but for me, there's like this thing where it's like, that same excitement that people get when they like start dating a new person, like, I get that same excitement when like I make a new friend. Like, there's like, since moving here, like, I've made a couple of new friends that are like very quickly have become people that I'm just like, that I come to for things, and then I'm like excited that I'm like, oh my god, I can come to you for shit, and like, oh my god, you're interesting, and you do this, and we get along this way, and like,
you get like friendship butterflies.
I get friendship. I like fall in love with my friends, kind of like, yeah, I totally do that. And it's just like, it's really exciting for me. And especially when I see it kind of, see that it's a mutual thing. Then I'm just like, oh my god, we're like excited about each other, and that we can like trust each other, and like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like, maybe that's weird. I don't think that's a normal thing. I don't see a lot of people like reacting that way to friends, really, but like, that's definitely something that I have. And I feel like with a lot of my friends that I consider really good friends, like, there was like a falling in love process that I've had.
Yeah.
Same.
So
what?
So sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to clarify. I don't think I got to articulate myself very well when I got to talk about it, but when I say different levels, like, do you guys also think, like, I know this might sound silly, but the term best in front of friends, like, does that have any effect, or does that change the question a little? Because
I have like 10 people that I will call my best friend.
Yeah. Okay. So Bezos earlier was talking about mistrust, like, a long time ago in high school, with friends, and it's weird because, like, I'll call, like, you guys are like my best friends to me, and I'm okay with using that. But before, like, my first experience of it not having it be mutual was really awkward. Like I would call.
Wait, repeat that.
What?
Like Katya and Ginger Minch.
Right. When you would say like someone's my best friend, like I would say, oh yeah, like Renee's my best friend, but then Renee would go out and be like, oh yeah, John's my friend. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, would that
that's awkward.
I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying Renee did that. I'm just, but
Okay.
I do have a friend that did that to me, and like, I consider you guys my best friends, but like, one of my friends for a very long time, I would say like, yeah, that's my best friend. Like, I'm not gonna get into detail, but that person is telling other people.
Get into details after we're done.
Yeah, duh. That person would be like, oh yeah, John's my friend, and I'm like. And then I would hear that same friend say that someone else was their best friend, and I got like
exactly who you're talking
and
about.
I get like hella.
I think I do too.
And I was like, I wasn't jealous. I was more like, wait, what? Like, I felt so sad because this whole time I thought like I was your best friend, and like, do you know what I mean? So that's what I meant about like levels of friendship too. Like, I thought this person was my person, and then like, not that it's a bad thing, but. Like, I'm learning that, like, okay, you don't see me that way, and that's fine. I'm not gonna, like, cry about it, even though I was a little bit. But I get that other people are, like, wired differently, you know? So the word, that term sometimes means a little.
I'm comfortable with that because there's some people that I would consider friends that I'm not quite there to say like, oh, you're one of my best friends,
right?
And
there's
that's
like
not
levels
even something
to
that
it.
I hand out. Like it's something that like you just feel it. You know when someone is like one of your best friends, when someone's one of your closest friends. You guys like there are very few people outside of you guys that are close to me. Like I don't have that level of closeness with very many people, and so like it's just like. That's just what it is. I don't know. Like, I guess that makes sense that some people would not dislike the quantifying of it, but I don't know. I'm comfortable with it. Like, sometimes you are someone, and if in the situation like what you're talking about, then I would be, reevaluating whether that person's my best friend.
All right.
That's all.
Yeah, I mean, best friend stuff is really weird because it's like I only really use it to talk about y'all and like maybe one and like my friend from high school, like my best friend from high school. And that's kind of about, well, let me not say that on air because I might be forgetting people, but yeah, yikes. But yeah, I mean, it's just, it sucks if you say that and then the person like doesn't say it because I feel like it just means that your relationship, you may be investing more in it than like that person may be investing into you. But also like, I don't think it's like that big of a deal for me. Like, because some people only say best friend for like one person and then like other people say it for like 20 people. It's like, to me, it's like if I was, it reminds me of like MySpace top 8s, like when you would have top 8 and it's like, and someone would be in a certain position. Like I remember in middle school, like when I first got my two first friends, like I would always alternate between them being in the first and second spot because I didn't want to hurt their feelings and make them think that like one was like more important than the other.
No, I got all because I'm like, you don't have friends until middle school.
Remember when I said I used to sit by people and like I would laugh at their conversation? Yeah. So, but anyway,
I would have been your friend in elementary school.
No, you wouldn't have because I was self-hating and homophobic.
Oh, okay. Well,
but anyway, that's
very
besides the
reason,
point.
though?
But yeah, Baze, what were you gonna say?
I said what I was gonna say. I said it already.
I was gonna say just really quick. I think for that very reason, because I didn't have like a lot of friends growing up. Like for a long time, it was just like a friend drought. maybe up until I was like.
A love
like
drought?
a real friend drought. Maybe up until I was like
stop this friend drought.
15 years old before I can say like, oh, this person's my like true friend. I think because I went so long with that, I think that's part of the reason why they're like so incredibly valuable to me now. Oh, and I did want to say, so like with the thing with like the preference, like prioritizing like romantic versus friends, I think, and maybe I've said this before, but I think there is like this thing where like in society we're conditioned like this is the romance is like number one, like, and that's the goal and that's what you want to go for, and like as soon as you lose that, as soon as you find that, it's okay to like start like fading out on like the people around you. And like I think to a degree sure. That's, and especially if that's like something that makes you happy, then yeah, go for it for sure. But I would say that I tend to surround myself, not always, but usually, with people that are not gonna just like straight up disappear. Do you know what I'm saying? Because there's a difference between like prioritizing, okay, have a relationship like that's kind of gonna like dictate a little more of my time because I live with this person, or because like we're trying to create something or a family or whatever. Like I get that. But I think there's a difference between that and like just like being like, okay, like peace, and like you're not a priority, and like you're not, I'm not gonna call you back, but this guy that I met like 3 weeks ago, like he's gonna get like all my attention. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that, I think that's where it like gets a little weird to me, but thankfully it's not something that I really experience anymore. So
can I ask a question, or just to add on to this topic? What do you guys think about like taboo sort of friendships? I don't know,
what do you mean?
When this question came up, I thought about Harold and Maude. Do you guys know what that movie is?
Mm-mm.
It's that
the one with the young guy and the old lady.
Yeah, so it's this old classic movie where this guy's in his 20s and he befriends this woman who's like 80, and like people would look at them like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, is this romantic? What's going on? And they're like, like taboo friendships, like people, like friendships that are like kind of weird. I don't have a lot of straight friends, and not that I think it's taboo, but like as a like outsider looking in, I know like some queer people only have straight friends, and I'm like, what is that about? And so not that I think it's just not for me, but like, some question marks go over my head. What do you guys think about those kinds of friendships?
I actually kind of like it when you have friends that can, other than like Republicans, because that's trash. But like, I feel like I love it when I can have different friends from different kind of walks of life, because I think you get different experiences. But like, in terms of the straight friends thing, I maybe have like 2, and I would like to, or 3, or straight men, I have like 2, and I'd like to keep it that way. Like, and even then, like they're not like they're, I hate the word woke now, but they're like woke-ish, and it's just like I don't know, like straight men to me are like trash, so I don't want them around me. But anyone else, like I'm cool to be friends with. It's just, I thought you meant taboo friends, like if you're like how people talk about like coach and people relationships, or if like the older thing. Like,
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the same. That's a interesting relationship.
Yeah, I mean that's a discourse for another day, but yeah.
That made me think of.
Oh, sorry. Did anyone else want to go ahead? Or?
No, I'm good.
I just want to say just something else really quick. I think John, you brought up a good point. Where like, so like with straight friends, right? Like I had a bunch of straight friends in high school. That I maybe started fading out on as I got older, and not because they weren't good friends per se, but because like a lot of the stuff that I was going through, I knew they couldn't relate to or understand. So I had to like slowly be like surround myself by people that got it, and like my own community, and people that like could help me out through these things that my straight friends really, a lot of this stuff couldn't help me out with. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I've recently had like an experience where like somebody with a completely different experience than I have, who I considered a really good friend for a really long time, like started fading out on me, because I couldn't understand a lot of the things that they were going through. And so it's just like, it was like really, it like hurt a lot at first, but then like as like I was thinking about it, and as like I saw what was going on, I was just like, okay, like it's very obvious that this person needs these people around them,
right?
And not me right now, because there are things that I don't understand,
right?
And like that's just how it is. And it's not like it's not like a malicious thing. It's just like,
right.
You need the people that like are going through certain things and that understand you in your own community around you. So
for sure,
yeah, that's actually. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think we quantified levels of friendship by the amount of time we spend with people, but sometimes like I don't get to see my friends from my hometown a lot either, and like, you know, a lot of them are straight and have friends, or straight and have friends, straight and have kids, and like, I don't think we're any less of friends. They're still like some of my closest friends, and I know that a lot of them listen to the podcast, so shout out to you guys. Yeah, and they're straight and like, you know, have fun. And I don't think we're any less of friends. We're still really close friends, but yeah, like you were saying, like, just our different experiences don't, I don't know, they don't make us compatible 100%. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's okay. And doesn't make any less of friends, but that means you're not going to go to me for certain things, and I'm not going to go to you for certain things. Like, I'm not going to talk to you about sex stuff, you know?
Right.
So yeah, there's that.
Or like maybe rejection from family, or like,
yeah, and like stuff about kids. Like, I am never going to have kids, so don't talk to me about kids. So
You'll say that again for the people in the back, because yeah. I mean, one of my, and then we'll move on base, because I know like it's long, but one of my straight friends, really, really close friends of mine, we had a conversation about this, because he had told me that he felt like I was kind of drifting away from him because he's not gay. And I was explaining to him, but it's like an unconscious thing, and it's just that like our experiences are different.
right.
And there was a situation where I asked if he wanted to go to a gay bar, and he said no, he didn't feel comfortable, and that made me feel like, well, like, like,
right.
like if you can't go there, then there's really not much else we can do. And but we sat and we talked about it, and like, we're fine now. And it was like, you know, I think sometimes too that like in that situation I had to take responsibility, because just because this person, they don't, you know, share the same culture, they would like to understand. And I thought that was really amazing. And, you know, he was just really like, I don't understand. I'm not going to, but I would love to, you know, hear what you have to say. And I want to try to understand, like, and, you know, and be an ally. And like the fact that he took the time out to like call me and sit down with me, and we were like in tears, like having this conversation. And so, you know, there are good people out there, and the ones that put out effort like that, I always do try, but it gets hard. But, you know,
I think, to answer my own question about milestones and to bring it into what Rakeem just said, I think my friends would also like be accomplices, you know? I think that's how I would consider, if you're gonna do, you know, if you're gonna be that person for me, you're a friend. If you're an accomplice, you're a friend to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
A word.
So,
all right.
Yeah, I think that was a fruitful discussion. So yeah, let's move on to male of color. Did anybody else have any last closing thoughts?
No, let's just move on before it becomes a 45-minute segment.
Right? Okay. All right.
Better not.
Hello, we're back. That's us, podcast of color, and you know, we've got some lads, we've got some male. So let's go ahead and read
some
those.
What accent is this?
What? I don't know. It's a different accent. Also, update: Lupita Nyong'o's brother is finer than he ever was. I mean, Lord Jesus, this man is fine.
I want him to do things in my body.
Did you guys see the picture of him? I'm sending it to the group right now. He's so fine. Oh my god, that face.
How do we see the picture if you didn't send it to the group yet?
I just sent it. You might have seen it on Twitter.
Oh my god, that's her brother?
That's her brother. Yes. I was like,
oh, and he has a septum?
You know?
Oh, hello.
So anyway,
oh,
that whole family is blessed.
He was at the Academy Awards like a couple years ago, no?
Yeah.
That's
but he's a man.
If I saw him, I would.
That was when he was a boy. Now he's a man.
Yes, we love a man.
So
He
from
looks like
Miguel,
someone will never call you back. I'm sorry. Keep going.
why you always gotta be dark? Let's be happy. Let's be.
Don't
positive.
tell John why you gotta be dark, because then he'll be like Rachel Dolezal. Don't tell him that don't do that.
Oh, girl.
Ew.
Maybe you don't want them to call you back though. Oh, anyways, go ahead.
Read the email.
Yeah, maybe you end it. No, never mind. Let me not do that one. Anyway, Hi, this is Podcast Color, and we're in Male of Color. So, Miguel says, Why are we such a mess? I'm so tired of this. Miguel said, love the podcast last week. Well, every week.
Hi, Miguel.
I mean, of course you do, bitch, because we also...
don't call him a bitch.
Days.
I'm just joking, Miguel. Thank you for writing into us. And was excited when you guys started talking about personal problematic behavior. And Bays mentions his experience with anti-Asian, anti-blackness conflict in school. Before I go any further, I want to make clear that my family is from Mexico and we are Asian and Latinx from my maternal grandfather's side. I have identified as Mexican Chinese or Mexican of Chinese descent since I was a kid, and I've struggled with Asian Americans gatekeeping or denying my identity. So they wrote a lot of things. It's a little bit long, so I read it myself, and I will not be reading it on the show, but I will skip to the last paragraph because that is where the key questions are. And it says, sorry for rambling. It's okay, girl, because we got through it. We good. But what I've been trying to get to is, what is the difference between Asian Americans who co-opt palatable or cool blackness and queer, trans, or LGBT Asian people nowadays co-opting ball culture? Should ball culture be ubiquitous in any queer space, especially American ones, since it has spread to other parts of the world? And if it is, as I fear, just racist, anti-black, and classes to co-opt ball culture, if you are impoverished or black and queer, what should we do about it, and how can we call people in?
That is a really good question.
Like, these are some great questions.
Complicated. Yeah.
I feel like that video, Rakeem, with like the African lady that's like getting asked the question and she like dips. She's like, "Oh, that is a great question. Another question, please."
Why not?
Because that is deep.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Sorry, we talking memes all the time. I need to stop. I think there's a way to participate. I think there's a difference. A perfect example is Bruno Mars and the way that people talk about him versus like appropriation versus appropriation versus appreciation. I think that, like I said before in the previous episodes, that my issue and a lot of people's issues is really, I think, the response to Bruno Mars and less Bruno Mars himself, because Bruno Mars is a great example of someone who's appreciating and engaging in the culture, and not only engaging in it but giving props to where it came from. He's you know what I mean? So like I don't personally enjoy like the majority of his music, but I don't have a problem with that for that reason. I know there was Jeremy Lin we talked about on the show a few weeks ago, or maybe a couple months ago actually, where he got dreads, and him and his teammate both were growing dreads, his black teammate, and he like really engaged with where that came from. He really acknowledged where he came from. He wrote out a really well thought out piece on why he got dreads, and it was one of the few situations where a non-black person had dreads where I was just like, okay, you know what, I'm actually kind of okay with this. Like, I mean, it's always going to be weird when non-black people wear dreads, but like, I think that there is something to say for a cultural exchange. So I think it is possible for you to engage in the culture of drag and ballroom or whatever. I think the issue that arises is when people are taking from the culture and then acting like it's something that's for everyone, as opposed to like something that comes from the specific thing. My issue with a lot of like the Asian kids that I grew up with was not that they did breakdancing, because a lot of them were really good at it and there was nothing in particular wrong with that. It was the way that they engaged with blackness, and the way that blackness was only something that could be cool for a minute, but it wasn't something that they were willing to like really engage with in like any meaningful way. Like, they weren't really engaging with actual black people. They were just engaging with hip hop. And it's not to say that there weren't black people there. Obviously I was there. So like, you know what I mean? Like, and there were other black people, not to say that there's a lot more of everything else other than black people in Torrance, but there are black people. And the way that you're, the fact that you're willing to engage with hip hop and breakdancing, but you're not willing to engage with actual black people when they are there. I think that's the issue. So like RuPaul's Drag Race has like brought a lot of like drag and ballroom culture and language to the mainstream. And the issue is that there isn't, for me at least, and that's also part of why I don't enjoy watching why I don't watch Drag Race, is it kind of feels like this free for all where like, oh, who knows, like this is just a great thing that all drag queens participate in, and this is our language, this whole like our thing that like white gays do a lot of. is like, no, this is not our thing. This is our thing. You are not a part of the our. And you need to be able to acknowledge that you're engaging with this, but this doesn't come from you and it's not owned by you. So it's the taking ownership of it. So I think that the issue, I don't think that there's necessarily any issue with people participating in cultures that are not their own. It's the way that you do it. And I'm done.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that, so I'll give an example because I remember when I first started college, I went to go, and actually this wasn't too long ago, I went to a party where it was like predominantly Asian people there, and it was just really awkward for me as an experience because that particular group of people were very much based how you were kind of saying, like very, I feel like it was this idea of like a caricature of what they think blackness is like. And it's always like, oh, well, they're like this, the coolest things are they wear. And it's always like these super stereotypic things like, oh, like, well, and I got a lot of, oh, well, like what sport do you play? Like what J's do you have? Like stuff like, and like stuff like that. And it's
what the fuck?
Yeah. And it's stuff like that. Or, people always go, oh, or, you know, or you'll be like, oh, well, I'm not like, oh, well, people go like, oh, well, I'm not like I've heard I'm not like a typical Asian person or whatever, or like, or I've heard stuff like that.
I'm a cool Asian.
Yeah. And it's like, and it's kind of just like, it really annoys me because one, not all black people are like that. Like there are some, but like that's why Tyler Perry got a lot of criticism because in his movies he would always portray blackness in like this really like one-dimensional thing. But there were black nerds, there were people that don't talk like that. There are black people who don't play sports. There are black people in science. There are black people who do play sports. There are, you know, it's all kind of stuff that black people do. And I feel like people that aren't black always have this idea that we're just so, and we are lit. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, but it's like, it reminds me of that, that video that I see or that GIF set I always see where it's always like, where that lady's talking about how you want to be black or you want to say nigga, but you don't want to be followed in a store. Like you want to say nigga, but you don't want to, you know, deal with this and that. And it's like, and I remember at the end of saying, if you want to say nigga, then act like one or be one or something like that. And it's like, and what I always tell people is when they want to say that word or try to act like that, I go, well, why do you want to say it? Or like, why do you want to do that? And you just kind of see their brain short circuit because it's just so annoying to me because it's also dehumanizing because you're not even looking at me as a person. Like you're looking at me as a caricature. Like I've had people tell me, but I've been at a party before, another Asian party where someone had told me, oh, well, like, it's like you're not even really black. And it's like, how do you, like, nigga, what? Like, what?
I oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it.
I was just going to say, like, I had, like, you know, I've actually been hanging out with, like, a lot more Asian people since I moved to New York. And I do notice that there's a difference in the way that, like, Asian people in New York engage with black people versus the way that they do it in LA. There's a little bit more of an exchange, but there's still a lot of that weirdness there. And I had, you know, we'll say an associate because I'm, like, definitely not a friend. An associate of a friend, associate, and I was hanging out with a couple of friends, and their friends, and one of them was like, "Oh, like he grabbed my butt, and then told me that he read a black book, and didn't even remember the title,
like right after he grabbed your butt."
Well, right before, actually. Sorry, I got mixed up my timeline, but you know, and it just was like, I felt,
Wait,
you know...
Okay, sorry.
I felt very comfortable in this group because, you know, we constantly talk about, like, anti-blackness in Asian communities and like, anti-Asianness in black communities and, like, anti-Asianness and, like, in general. And, like, we're very, like, we engage with each other a lot in these discussions. And, it just was kind of jarring for me because I was like, you know, when you feel like you're in a safe space and you realize you're not, like you're made acutely aware that is not the case, and that's what I felt. I felt like I was amongst accomplices, and I realized that there was a fake bitch in the group, and it was really jarring, and that's what I'm talking about because he he didn't read this book and like engage with it. He was like, this is a black book and I'm going to read it. And then I'm going to tell black people that I read this book. You know what I mean?
They don't remember the title.
And don't remember the title. So it's like that. It's like that like cool factor. It's the association with blackness without actually like engaging with the actual culture. And that's the issue. That's always been the issue. You know what I mean? Like, do you think that, like, honestly, if white girls walked around wearing braids, but they acknowledged where the fuck it came from and were like actually like engaging with black culture and weren't being racist pieces of shit, you know what I mean? And just like liking black culture when it was attached to a black dick, then we would like, there would probably not be as much of an issue with it. But the issue is that people want to like take from black culture and like make it an accessory for themselves. And not only that, but not actually even acknowledge where it comes from. So that's the issue. Like, that's the continuous issue. There's nothing wrong with people engaging with other cultures. Like, I mean, I'm just repeating myself at this point. There's nothing wrong with that in and of itself.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think we answered the question. Right?
Yeah.
Sorry. We went off just a little bit.
We went off a little bit. We should actually have a discourse about this.
She snapped.
A little bit. But I mean, I think I said mostly what I had to say.
It's funny because I've been wanting to do discourses on like black topics, but I haven't brought them up yet because I want John and Renee to be able to.
Oh my God! Stop.
I wonder if we should do like a thing where we like have guests. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's like a more of like a black discussion and we have like black people on. Maybe there's like a Latinx discussion and then like where we take a break off and then like let other guests come on. Yeah. Like I wonder if that would be a good idea in a way that we can still engage with things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. So,
yeah, because it's called Podcast of Color, not Podcast of Bays, John, Renee, and Rakeem. So
you were like the third person that told me that this week. That's so funny.
What?
That it's Podcast of Color, not Podcast of the Four of Us. I'll tell you after, but that's interesting.
Okay. Huh. Okay. Yeah, so I think that we're good. Rakeem, you were on Magical Boys this week?
Yeah, thank you. I want to say thank you this week to the Magical Boys podcast for having me on. And I was there because their co-host Ruben was in Japan. And congratulations on getting engaged. That is amazing. I wish you and your girlfriend all the best. And but I was on that episode last week, so if you want to go listen to that, it's the Magical Boys podcast, and the episode is called Magical Trashbags of Color. And we just talked a lot about a lot of like nerdy stuff. And then you guys should actually go listen to the last 15 minutes because DJ pretty much and I almost like cried like on the last 10-15 minutes because he was saying that this show makes him feel really, really seen, and like he said that he looks at me like his little brother, and I like almost broke down in tears.
I saw y'all loving on each other. I saw you and DJ loving on each other on Twitter, and DJ like really like writes for us. I really appreciate that.
No, it's
amazing. I can't wait to meet him.
It's amazing because DJ is like a fellow like black nerd, and like we just haven't had a lot of that, and we play a lot of the same things, we watch a lot of the same things, and we like just have these really nice discussions. So it's really nice to kind of have that space, and like the nerd really gets to jump out. So I'm really happy. So, and we play Overwatch together in like this group called Petty Watch, and it's really great. So.
Cool.
But sorry. So yeah, that will conclude this week's episode of Podcast of Color. Sorry, I forgot I do that. If you guys can like and subscribe to the podcast. You can do both. Yeah, hit that subscribe button.
Comment on our iTunes or podcast thing.
Rate us on iTunes.
Y'all have been dragging us on SoundCloud, girl. Oof.
Oh my God, I've been reading the SoundCloud comments. They were dragging.
Really?
Not you, me, and Baze. Always.
Of course. It's always the black one.
It's always me and Bass. But yeah, so thank y'all so much for listening. Again, be sure to rate and comment on the podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Trash of Color. You can find us everywhere else at Podcast of Color. And next week is the 50th episode of the show. So stay tuned.
1 year anniversary.
I know. What was that? What was that, Renee?
I don't know what's going on.
Do it again. No.
A white woman jumped out.
Once. Old anniversary. I can't even do it. Like, why are you so good at this? It's so okay.
Wait, Renee, can you just do it in the Stitch voice?
No.
Okay.
Anyways, thank y'all for coming to our podcast. Get home safe. Text us when you get home. And yeah.
Text us when you get to work. When you make it to work. Good luck on the 405. Good luck on the A train. Good luck on the 110. I don't know any of the other stuff that anywhere other than
101
in New York. Good luck on the BART.
Gargle some scope after swallowing, please.
Yes.
Wow.
Does that really help?
Yes.
So you know what? Well, yeah. We'll take
Okay.